Thank you. Thank you. Kamsahamnida, if I said that correctly. I appreciate the time. I will go through what our office, you've heard Johns Hopkins Tech Ventures mentioned a few times. So I would like to start with an overall of what we do and then dive into corporate partnerships where I sit, and then touch a little bit on our Fast Forward division as well. So we're the focal point for technology commercialization across the university. All the schools, all commercialization, all technologies, they come through our office. Our goal is to commercialize and bring these products to market. We have three core functions. One is corporate partnerships, that's where I sit. Industry-sponsored research, academic strategic collaborations, things like JHBIC. These sit with us. Technology transfer, faculty who invent anything or report an invention to us. We manage the IP. We look for the appropriate partners to license the technology. Several of the faculty who are here have gone through this process and will continue to. And then Fast Forward is our suite of resources around entrepreneurship. Anyone in our faculty who wants to start a company, anyone who's licensed technology from the university, who wishes to have support starting a company, that work comes through there. All three of these are about bringing discoveries to the market. Like, that's our goal. And what does that kind of look like? So across the continuum, you can think of the research and discovery section as very corporate partnerships focused. All three of our units work across the entire continuum, but you can think of the research and discovery as very corporate partnerships focused, sort of bleeding edge research, coming up with the new innovations, the things that will affect our world in the future, in the next 5, 10, 15 years. That's where we sit. That's our main focus. Intellectual property, as I mentioned, license agreements, startups, established companies, whoever's the right fit, we're happy to work with them. We've worked with both, many as you see. And our goal, again, products in the market benefiting human health and society. So what's the overall corporate partnerships vision? Our goal is to leverage mutual interests for faculty and industry to create value and address unmet needs. So we source and cultivate and manage these strategic partnerships, right? And our goal is to establish Johns Hopkins as a partner of choice for industry. When you have opportunities to select between any leading research institution, we want Johns Hopkins to be one of the first and the first that everyone thinks of to come work with and conduct these sort of partnerships. This is a sample. It's not exhaustive by any stretch, but an example of the companies that we have and do work with. I want to just put this up here just to give people a sense of the scope of the work that we're doing. There are lots more. I hope to have many more companies, both that are here and online, that I can have up here shortly. And I wanted to discuss a couple of examples. They're all somewhat related. The first of which is that they're all in the public domain. There are many that, for confidentiality reasons, I can't discuss publicly, but the three that we'll talk about now are, and they're related, but different and worth discussing separately about how we work and the kind of outcomes that we try to facilitate. So this is one example between Bayer and our Wilmer Eye Institute. There was a desire to develop new ophthalmic therapies for retinal disease. That was the broad goal of the partnership. So about 10 years ago, around 2015, we established this partnership. Took a year to kick it off. And I won't go into all the various details, but those that you see in white along the timeline are just some of the outcomes of value throughout the process. I wanted to just highlight some of these value points. New IP, better understanding of disease mechanisms, new animal models were developed. A startup was actually formed around the IP, and one of the drug candidates actually made it to phase 2. This is over the course of 5 years. So it's actually a relatively accelerated timeline from the ideation to something into the clinic. We're really happy about this. And this is one of those I like to present as sort of the standard strategic collaboration, sort of sponsored research that we look to facilitate. Let's do that. This one is a little bit different. This is a little bit broader, a little bit more aspirational. We have a number of faculty who work in the space of speech and language and computer vision, which now the correlation between that and Amazon is very obvious because of Alexa. But there are other interests of theirs within this space and machine learning. And they wanted to figure out how can we partner beyond just a faculty or two faculty? How do we do this? And so we spent a decent amount of time, colleagues of mine, on figuring out what this partnership could look like in a way that it could grow over time. And so we established through the Whiting School of Engineering with Amazon a partnership known as AI to AI, the JHU and Amazon Initiative for Interactive Artificial Intelligence. This was around the winter of 22 when we established this, and faculty awards and fellowships started towards the summer. And there was a bunch of outreach, and that was one of the main strategic points, was to build it up within the community and make sure that there was as much awareness of this opportunity across the faculty as possible. And it's been growing. We've had a broad research collaboration. I've marked it off till 27, but that's a question mark. We'd love this to grow and continue to grow. So this is a little bit less focused on something specific. Bear was very focused on new retinal therapies. This was more broad innovation and development over time. So I wanted to make sure I highlighted those. And I'd be remiss to not talk about JHBIC. So Professor Dako Kim came to us with an idea and with a strategic goal in mind. He had the goal from the beginning, and it was JHBIC. We didn't have the name yet. So he came to my boss, Paul and Chancellor, he mentioned, and our team, and we supported this effort. Came to us early summer of 2023, something like that. And throughout that year, we supported with the proposal, we supported with tours of the space and letting folks see how we work, see where we work, see what we do, commercial and business strategy, overall feedback on how to operate, how these things look, how industry and academia partnerships look. We brought that expertise and that experience to the application. So we're very proud that it has been awarded and has now become JHBIC. We continue to be involved. Clearly, I'm here now, but we're also involved on the level of helping with partner matching, helping if there's interest in how we work. So we continue to be involved in this. This is even more broad, I would think, in some ways than our partnership with Amazon. We continue to have this grow. I have put no date on the end. Let's see how long. We'd love this to continue to grow. We've had great success. We continue to look for more success in partnering. In the interest of time, I will skip the virtual tour. We have a really 2-minute interesting tour here. Anyone who is interested in it, happy to show it to you later. I almost skipped. It's about 3 minutes. I won't use the time now, but anyone later who wants to see it, happy to show it to you. So what is Fast Forward? It's a suite of resources. This is the best way to think about it. There's space involved, there's education. In some instances, there's funding, there's support, there's mentorship. It's all these things. It's not just the buildings. It's not just the programs that can award faculty funding. It's the entire thing. The goal is to move technologies, again, from startup to marketplace. Anyone who has been in or has started a company knows that getting to the point of starting the company is a huge milestone. It is a long way from getting to the marketplace sometimes. So making sure we can help you get there efficiently, that's the goal of Fast Forward. I won't go through all the details, but I did want to highlight these in buckets. We have education, whether they're workshops, whether it's the I-Corps programs, we're happy to talk more about offline, various events to build the community and just build that overall knowledge and awareness of what's available. I skipped one. Yes. Mentorship and support services, I mentioned, there's mentored residence programs, monthly office hours. There's a broad advisory network, comes from industry, partners, alumni who have been in those places. So we support across the board. There's lots of touch points. You're able to involve in as little or as much as is necessary. Space has come up. It is relevant, especially in bio-focused research, but also in more of our engineering setups as well. We have 3 broad spaces to think of. 2 are on our Homewood campus, the main campus in North Baltimore. And then in East Baltimore, where the School of Medicine, School of Public Health, and the hospital and others sit. We have that space. I'll touch a bit on these. 1812 Ashland Avenue. For those who have been there, they know us by the Starbucks that's at the front of the building. For those of you who haven't, we invite you. You'll know us by the Starbucks that's at the front, but we're happy to walk you through our space. We've got a lot of space for meetings. We've got BSL2 lab space, and it really is a premium sometimes when you're starting a company that be able to have quality space early on. Our house is near the Homewood campus. Again, very similar. Not quite as big overall, but very similar space. Then I don't want to go without talking about the Pava LaPera Center for Entrepreneurship. This is for our students, student entrepreneurship and innovation. This is available to all Hopkins students. It is a wonderfully inspiring place. Anytime you're on campus, feel free to connect with one of us, try to get an opportunity to see this. It's wonderful to see the students starting and even just thinking about entrepreneurship at an early stage. There are funding opportunities in certain circumstances. For more information, and you'll see me mention this again, our website has this for those who it applies to. Again, you see mentorship and other opportunities. This is a large heat map just showing that there's so much going on. There are various buckets, but the goal is to support across, from identifying, engagement, formation, even to the launch of your product. There's support all the way across. This sometimes what happens, which I don't always mention, is that along this way, a company may realize we need a little bit more research. And so then you come back to us and say, is there a faculty that we can partner with and engage in sponsored research to push to the next step? So it stays connected across the time. I'd love to take any questions if we have time. We'd love to hear from you. Ventures.jhu.edu is our website. I am sitting right there. Come to me, email me at dushon@jhu.edu, and thank you again.